Hey everybody, welcome to beautiful 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. It's the Danny Kadota Show. Danny, how are you?
I'm back.
Back
Got a little
from the
sunburn.
Bay of it. Man, you are burned.
But more than sunburn, I got chewed up this time by the no-see-em. They got me good.
Well,
we slept in the same place on this island, pretty remote. We never got a bite last year, and it was a little cooler this year. But I woke up and I look at all these dots, and oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Oh man, that's
like polka dots.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the fishing there,
absolutely.
everything else. But we also have Jordan Horita from Daiwa.
Yes,
Jordan,
sir, I'm back. Glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, we had so many positive comments the last time you were here. I'm happy to see you back. People love you.
I'm really surprised, but I'm glad. I'm happy.
You're going to debut something
Yes,
tonight.
sir. Today is the debut of
what did you tease everybody?
So today we can take a look at the new Lexa 500. So you guys already seen the HD, but this is going to be the regular Lexa model added into the 3 and 400. So I'll be glad to talk to you guys about that today. A little bit different gear ratio, a little bit different for you guys out there on the saltwater market, man. So this is going to be a really exciting new product right here.
Left and right-handed.
Left and right-handed,
Cool.
you got it. So everybody can everybody can enjoy it.
Hey, hit that like button if you don't want to see Danny and I break into tears tonight. We deeply appreciate that. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. And tonight on Tackle Shop Confessions, we'll be live at 6 p.m. 2 beautiful rods are going to be raffled off tonight. If you want information, there it is right there. Get a hold of Chuck Zimmer. Send him a text. He'll take care of you. But that raffle's going to be in just a few more hours, so you need to hurry. I don't know where to start first. Do we start with the reel?
Oh, listen, that's news. That's news.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's talk. I love listening to the technical things,
and
too, and all the latest and
We're
greatest.
saving Danny for
last. Save the best for last, guys, right?
Best for last, yeah. Yeah, we were last.
So, guys, the new Lexa 500, we literally could just talk about this today, guys. This is going to be the newest, biggest thing on the market right here. So you've already seen the Lexa HD 500 come out, but what this is different is it's going to have all brass gearing. So the all brass gearing is basically going to be a little bit smoother. A lot nicer overall in my hand, smoothness and capability for like things like surface iron, bigger live bait, stuff like that. Still can throw smaller stuff too. I was throwing a lot of the A-rigs for the Barracuda on it and everything, really getting a good test out of it. And I'm looking forward to really putting it to the test for some of those yellowtail at the Coronados once they decide to go off.
Yeah.
So this reel is going to be 7.6. It has a 7.6 gear ratio on both. So the HDs had it in a 7.1 or an 8.1. This 7.6 was created specifically for California anglers in mind, right in between, because a lot of the guys said the 8.1 was a little too fast, but that 7.1 wasn't good enough for keeping up with some of the irons we have today, especially ones that we have that really fast kick on them, especially for cudas or something. So we invented this. So this is going to be a lot better overall for just throwing those bigger irons, even for throwing some of these poppers, the clear poppers for bluefin and everything. We've put it through its paces. We've got 100+ pound tuna on them to prove it. So it can hold around 250 yards of our 65-pound J-braid. So you're going to have more than enough capability and 28 pounds of drag. So you'll have more than enough power to stop one of those big monsters in case they decide to bite. So it's going to be one of the new reels, I think, for taking down the Bay of LA for Cabria and everything. I think those yellowtail. I think it'll eat those things alive. So overall, this reel is
that'd be perfect.
And then it comes in a left and a right hand retrieve, as you can see here. So you can go ahead and just pretty much tackle anything you want in our West Coast saltwater scene. It can even throw real light stuff too. I was just testing the capabilities, trying to pitch out little anchovies, and it actually can do it. So
really?
Not as good as my 300, but I'll tell you what, it's doable.
Yeah.
I wanted to go ahead and put this thing to its paces and see what it can do, and it has not failed me. As you can see, I put some use on this one, so this one's definitely had its share of love for me on the boats. So it's done the trick really well for me.
Sounds like it's very versatile in terms of the species that you can catch. It sounds like you can fish calico bass, barracuda, yellowtail, and bluefin tuna.
Yep, I think this is one of those reels.
Wow.
I mean, I've seen it happen. I've seen you use it one day for rock fishing, and the next day they got 50, 60, 70-pound bluefin biting fly line. Easily switch it right out, and it has more than enough capability, more than enough power to do it. So
65-pound braid is what you'd recommend on that?
That's what they recommend. That's what I would recommend. That's what's on it right now. But you can push it up to 80-pound as well. It's rated for 80 as well. But
how many yards, Jordan? How many yards on like 65? On that side,
250 yards. Yeah.
65?
So you can do it quite a bit on it.
That's awesome.
Yep. So it's a great reel overall. It's what I would recommend it for is those bluefin schoolies, but we have pushed it and we have seen 100+ pounders caught on them. The 400s did it. The 500s do it better. Put it that way. So I've seen some crazy things on these reels. I'm a believer.
You're thinking like bluefin in the 25 to 50 pound range.
Yeah,
Perfect.
perfect. Right? Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
You're getting that schoolie size, that's the way. Yellowfin, bluefin, in that 25 to 50 pound range, this thing's going to be a monster for it.
And when are they available now? Are they in the tackle store?
They should be available in the next 1 to 2 weeks, hopefully.
Wow,
We're knocking on
exciting.
wood there, but they should be coming in really, really, really soon, guys. So keep an eye peeled out for it. You'll notice that they're different in the color. So the main thing you'll notice from the HD and the different series is going to be the color and a little bit different gearing. But overall, I like these because I think they're a little bit smoother with that brass gearing.
Yeah.
And I think for iron, I mean, that's one of my favorite reels, for the iron. I don't have to sit there and just track a line over and over again. I know a lot of guys like to do that, and don't get me wrong, we make you guys the Saltiga and the Saltus for that, but this reel overall for me, it just takes the guesswork out of everything for me.
Man, that is fantastic. Retail price?
I believe this one's gonna be. Give me 1 second. Actually,
no problem.
That's the thing. That's the thing I didn't rehearse as well.
And
But
if you have any questions out there, not only about these new reels, but anything Daiwa, Jordan can answer it. Jordan's a fountain of information. Danny, this kid is awesome.
He always has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then stay tuned. We're going to talk about Danny's trip to the Bay of LA. Jordan?
oh yeah.
I was going to say.
No, it's taking us a while to load. So
I'm sorry.
I'll get you guys the scoop afterwards. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
no
I
problem.
will make sure.
We will get that price.
Yes,
for
sir.
you.
We will get that for
You
you.
want me to
before
read
then.
a couple comments?
Sure,
And then we'll
sure,
go from there.
sure,
Glacier
absolutely.
Shark is just ready to rock and roll. Happy to see the show. Pumpkin Jones has a question. First question: have you ever fished the hookup baits doubles with a 3-way swivel? I have. Have you?
I haven't actually. I've only fished a single hook, just one down there. So that's the only way I've done it. So.
I've done it. I've done it in Ensenada. They fish that a lot. There's a guy named Louis Prieto. That's his preferred rig down there. We were catching 2 sand bass at a time. Not only that, this was a couple of months ago, Danny. Like the old days, man. You see like 5 or 6 followers come up
Oh, my
and
God.
chase
A cloud.
the
The cloud.
cloud of
Yeah.
sand bass.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. That was definitely something we've done. Chris Knott, hey Phil, biting at the bit to get out on the Pegasus on the 4th of July and catch some albacore. Chris, it's time, man. These bluefin are hiding out on us. So wish you the very best of luck on your trip. Hey, I think you know this guy. Steve Yatomi.
Hey, Zatoichi.
Danny Baqueta Kadota. Oh,
Yeah.
Is that your new sobrenombre? Your new
That has
nickname?
you got to go back a ways,
Oh.
like last year, But yeah, no, we had a blast down there. It's just so beautiful.
So
But-
first of all, Steve
yeah,
Yatomi runs
yeah.
an organization. What's it called? Fishing Alliance or?
Is Travel Fishing Alliance.
Yeah,
But yeah.
true.
I mean, we've been all over. The thing with Steve, folks, is he goes above and beyond with the homework. So there's no surprises. And when you're traveling to different countries, whether it's the etiquette, the mannerisms you're utilizing, in public, I mean, everything. He dials you in on everything. The food. Like when we go down to the Bay of LA, everything is laid out a certain way, and you just follow the protocol, But I've learned so much in traveling, and not just for fishing, overall, it really helps, secure your trip, and to make things easy when you're down there, just following the protocols and stuff. Yeah, so it's a huge deal. But Zato, we had a good time. I am still nursing all these. You can see them, the little spots. We've been putting all kinds of stuff on them. And my wife has been talking to Steve about remedies and this and that. And, I just got chewed, but that was my fault.
What, mosquitoes or no seals?
No,
or
they were sand fleas.
Oh,
And,
man.
we never got touched last year. It was just odd. This is one of those odd deals. And it was such a beautiful night. We just put a tarp out in a sleeping bag and sat out there. Thought it was going to be like last year. Only this year, I got munched on pretty good. And so I got all these spots. It looks like I had chicken pox or
So
something.
let's go into a little more detail. You fished during did you travel right to the island and
We
sleep
did.
that
We
night,
we
or?
did have, yes. We did have weather. It did blow. It blew different directions and came. But we salvaged the day, and that's fishing. You do what you can. You're not going to always conk them.
Yeah.
But we had a good time. We had a great time.
How was
and we had
it
opportunities.
sleeping on the beach? Did you enjoy that?
I loved it until I woke up and said, "What are these little spots?" But we didn't have it last year. Like I said, it's odd. So what can I say? But great company. We had a great group of people.
Yeah.
And Steve's got everything choreographed. So everything goes well. With we get back the fish are all filleted. We vacuum pack them, put them in the freezers. You know, there's just we go out to dinner. He has different spots. We went to this one gal, Ruth, who has
Ruth,
like
I know Ruth.
Yeah,
I'm married to one.
yeah. There you go. She has like a boarding house, you know, where the guys lodge down below, and then she has this restaurant on top. And we had the pleasure and the honor of having the last dinner she served. She's going to go strictly with
really?
hotel stuff, yeah.
Wow.
Which is a shame because it was phenomenal. You know, she did shrimp enchilada sauce, and the view, the panoramic view of the Bay of LA. I mean, it's priceless.
Yeah.
It's priceless. So it's just a wonderful place.
That's great,
Yeah.
man. Would you like to do that? Like hang out on an isolated island and
It's a dream right there, man.
There you go.
Just getting down to the Bay of
It
LA is a
is.
dream. If
It
I can
is.
be on an isolated island fishing all day, I think that sounds like the dream right there.
Yeah.
That's the dream life right there. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. Although I'll tell you the honest truth, probably 30 years ago, a guy by the name of Bruce Kuhn, we went to Laredo to do just that. And we went down, it was Isla Catalina or Carmen, I forget. And we pull up to it and we're getting ready to do it. And I'm looking at this island, it looks like crap. And I'm like, air conditioning and a cable TV, take me back.
yeah, sounds a little better over there. Refrigeration.
Yeah. So I was a wimp.
Yeah,
let me tell
yeah.
you.
Well, we have that when we get back into town. But you know, I mean, it brings back my Boy Scout days.
Dan said I should have tried it once. He's right.
Yeah.
I'll go back with you, Dan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dan Lightfoot is here, everybody. He's the best.
All right.
Reggie Wynn says, thanks for the love on the thumbnail, Phil. Is that a Scott Bucher decal on your laptop? Absolutely. Scott Bucher is number one. Reggie, I saw that photo of you with that big surface iron yellowtail at Cedros, and I said, I'm using that, man. That was a great fish and a great shot. I'm the one who should be thanking you. Reggie, thanks again for all you do. Greg Sheridan, hi, Phil. Good stuff. Jordan, what rod would you recommend for those reels? Hi, Mr. Kadota, says Greg Sheridan.
Overall, I would recommend one of our Proteus rods. We make our new Proteus EX rods in a bunch of different lineups. It just depends on what you want to do. I switched this reel out on so many different rods for so many different things. If I was going on a 3/4 day or a 2-day, it just really depends. When I was fly lining, I was throwing it on either a Proteus EX 8-foot medium heavy or a heavy for the fly line. And then when I came back out on 3/4 days, I took it out on one of my Proteus inshore rods, my 8-foot, and I was messing around with the cudas and everything at the islands. So I just like a bigger reel, and I think it gets a better overall line gear ratio. You're going to get like a more consistent amount of inches per turn. I was throwing my bigger Alabama rigs with like 3/4 ounce heads, 1/2 ounce heads on it, and it's working pretty good overall. So it's a jack of all trades reel. It just depends on what you really want to do, but you can do a ton.
So if you're going to throw a jig with it, you're going to want a longer rod.
Yeah, a 9-foot jig stick or
Yeah,
something. And then
right.
they have so many different clamps on the market now. You can put them on any type of style, deckhand rod or anything. It can go on a jig stick, a fly line rod. It can go on an inshore rod. It does so many things, so right. So I think that's just up to you on what you want to do with it. But my buddy personally throws it on a 90J, on a CalStar 90J,
okay.
and he can wing out jigs pretty far on
heck
it. So,
yeah.
so it does it all, guys. It does it all.
And
That
Jordan,
is great.
you said it was 8-1, right?
No, this is a
it
7.6. We
Oh,
make
7.6.
we make the HD in an 8-1, but the 7.6
Wow.
we
That's smoking.
The 7.6 was nice because we really, really wanted something in between. Some people said, "Hey, the 7.1's a little too slow for what we want to do." 8.1's a blazing fast reel. You know how that goes. So
So about how much line is it in a crank, you know, say on average, guess, you know, do you get on a wind? What's it do with a full wind on the 8-1?
let me take
What
a look
how
on
much
the
line
8-1. I have to
Yeah.
take a look because I don't have the
Yeah.
8-1 here with the HD. But
Yeah.
let me look at the
Curious,
specs
yeah,
on it
you're
for you.
moving-
But
moving
it's
stuff
a
through the
ton of
water
line.
fast.
It moves.
It's more than you would imagine, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
amazing.
guessed at it, you'd be off.
The only thing is with the 8-1 is you do lose a little bit of torque, a little bit of power overall. You get
Sure,
one or
when
two
you
less.
have- get higher gearing,
You're
that
gonna have
happens.
to give up something, unfortunately, guys. With the
sure,
7.6 though, is the perfect balance because we didn't have to give up any of the drag power. It still stays that consistent 28 pounds.
Cool.
Once we bump up to the 8.1 on those, okay, you're losing a little bit of drag power. But the 7.6 to me is like the best sizing overall. Like I love the HD and I have the HD, but I've been using this one more because I just think the speed and the versatility on there has been the overall best for me.
And Jordan,
Cool.
the maintenance program that Daiwa offers, like something goes wrong with the reel, it's really great.
Oh, it's
maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we're local guys. We're in Lake Forest, Foothill Ranch area, so we're literally right on the verge. Our building pretty much breaks Lake Forest and Foothill Ranch apart there. If you want, you can go ahead and take it in. We're open Monday through Friday. We're open from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can drop off your reels there in the lobby, or you can go ahead and mail them into us. We have a form inside on our website, daiwa.us. Fill out the form. You can send the reel in, or you can just go ahead and take it into us. We should be able to take care of it pretty well. So usually right now it's like 2 to 4 week turnaround time. Middle fishing season, guys. So, unfortunately, tons of reels coming in. Everybody wants to get their reels down and dialed in right before it. So I always recommend sending it in the winter.
Yeah.
If you send them in the winter, you can get a real fast turnaround time. Keep them ready for your trips. Just store them all, and that's the best way to do it. I get all my reels done in the winter, nice and quick, easy. I store them in little reel bags, and then once they're ready to come out, you pull them out and they're ready. I don't have to freak out about last minute services. That's always the worst.
Awesome.
Greg Sheridan wanted to thank you for the great information there. Steve Yatomi has a public service announcement. Did you get caught taking a leak down there or something? He says,
No,
be
but what
careful
about?
peeing on the road in Mexico.
Okay.
Well, you got to be careful of peeing on the road in the United
you know-
States. It's
Yeah,
like-
I was going to say.
you're exposed.
It's-
I mean,
No matter what.
I'll give you the
Yeah.
story. I'll give you the story.
Yeah.
So Steve took the lead of the cars. He was
Yeah.
in car number 1. Then we had
Yeah.
car number 2.
Stay tuned, everybody. Breaking news. Somebody peeing in Mexico.
It was
Yeah.
Pete Demers and Larry and Judy.
Oh, don't tell me
Nick.
Pete Demers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
And no, it wasn't him.
Oh.
Then I was in the third car. This is in the one segment.
This is
And then
getting
we
better all
had
the time,
Cam and Sam, our buddies, followed.
Yeah.
Well, so as we're going up a hill, I'm looking back, and all of a sudden I've seen them dropping off, and I'm kind of worried. But Steve stops at the top, and Larry and Judy are up there, and Pete. And so I pulled around, and as I'm going down the hill, I see them, and I go, "There's a car behind them," And they got tagged. Well, poor Sam had to take a whiz, so he, they
Whipped
pulled
it
off,
out.
Dude.
and apparently not far enough off, according to the officer. So it was one of those Piola deals.
Mordida.
Yes.
Got it.
Mordida.
Yes, it was. And Steve will give you all the protocols when you travel with him, but he will always tell you not to put all your money in one pocket. But they got him for I think it was a $1.60.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
right.
Yeah.
So you
gotta
always
put
Such an
you
expensive
keep
fee
your
right
money,
there.
keep a little bit in your pocket, and you keep the rest stashed somewhere else.
Yeah, my buddy was telling me that he stores it in a sock, one bill in a sock or something, or
Yeah.
you got to store it in different places.
Now-
man. Okay.
Dan
There's
and
gotta
I have
been-
come up for the answer for that. We're so broke, we don't have any money to carry. So
You wear a leg
We-
bag.
we're good.
You wear a leg bag. You go to the hospital, get a leg bag. But yeah, I mean, we joke about it now. But I mean, back when it happened, we were going, "Oh my God," But
Yeah,
the
that's
excuse,
always been a thing, man.
talking
As
to
long
the
as-
officer,
Yeah.
you have to pull off further.
Yeah.
And basically try to find a bush to hide in or something.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's something that we learned. I learned. I didn't know, and we're passing that on to you, people out there. That's just one of the protocols you're gonna have to follow. But also, traveling with Steve, Steve travels all over the world, and he'll tell you only keep this much money available on your hand. The rest you stash away and hide. I mean, it's just different protocols that you have in different countries. But that's what's nice about traveling with somebody that's got the experience down there.
Steve Yatomi with a PSA, no peeing on the road in Mexico. I did that coming back from some lake, I forget where it was, but this is here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And my kid, I go, "I'm dying, pull over." I go, they wouldn't, so I pulled over and I took a leak on the road. Next thing I knew, and it was a female officer, CHP.
Oh, she got you good.
So I
Got
rolled
you
the
good.
window, and then I go, "Yes, officer." And she goes, "What were you doing?" And I go, "I'm going just with the honesty thing." And I go, "I'm so sorry, I was dying." And she just goes, "Okay, well, next time, fine." I think if you're honest and polite, most of the time you're gonna be okay. And I was okay, but I thought, "Oh my God, here I'm so screwed." Right now.
Yeah.
Hey, honesty is the best policy in most cases
Yeah,
when it comes
that's
down
true.
to it. So that's the
That's
good thing.
true.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's good.
Tell Dan that, will you, please?
Or bring a leg bag, just like and a catheter.
We're gonna have to turn this camera around.
Yeah, you gotta
on
do a
him
bottle
once in while.
sometimes,
Yeah.
man.
He gets to hide out.
Take a bottle.
Gatorade bottle will do
There
the
you
trick
go.
sometimes.
Hey,
You
they
gotta
have
do
these
it.
things now that you can pee in, and then it the urine dries.
Oh, it's
Have you
like
ever
a
heard of those things?
desiccant. Yeah, it's crystals. And
Yeah,
it
right.
expands out.
Yeah, right.
They got everything now, don't they?
Yeah, man. I'll tell you. And after you do that, man, you throw that at somebody. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, Robert Graber. We love Robert Graber. Good evening, Phil, Danny, Jordan, the Friedman Adventure family fanatics. Happy Danny Kadota Show Monday. Love my Lexa 300 and 400. Guess I'm gonna have to try the 500.
Definitely worth a shot. It's been in my rotation pretty much every trip this year. So
Yeah, and do you feel like it's a definite step up?
it's a huge step up.
It's huge.
In my opinion, yeah. I mean, sometimes I've hooked some bluefin on my 400, and I've done the job. But sometimes when you hook in those bigger ones, you're really, really, really done after that. So 500 just gives me a better peace of mind that I can land at least a few bigger fish. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Jordan, I understand that you guys are going to have all kinds of new stuff in Florida later
Of course,
on,
yeah.
right?
So the ICAST show's coming up,
Yeah.
guys. So
Oh,
keep,
yeah.
just stay tuned. We're gonna have a whole bunch of
Oh,
cool new
that's
stuff.
right.
Every year, man, we always come up with the latest and greatest new stuff. You guys have to take a look at it, man. Keep an eye peeled out for all the ICAST new stuff.
Johnny Garma here was posing as a Daiwa guy the other day, so you should know that. It's like being a police officer, you know? Hey, Garma, you watch that, man.
Hey.
Let me tell you, good to see you. Hey,
How you doing?
hey, Anthony. Anthony.
What?
Anthony,
What?
you're holding our show up. Turn that camera around and show Mike. And yeah, show these derelicts here that we're talking about and the cranker. Thank you. There they are. Well, they deserve to get
Hey,
mentioned.
yeah, that's our official peanut
I
gallery.
think people think we're making it up. I think I'm
Yeah, I
talking
think
to
they're talking to a wall.
yeah. Whoa! Doggone.
No, we have a real
Like
live
that.
audience, guys. We're real deal.
Yes, here we are. Let me tell you. All right. Let's see. Back to whatever it is we're doing here. I'm not sure what we're doing. Michael Burke. Hello, my best friend Phil. Hope you're doing great. Happy Father's Day, buddy. Thank you so much, Michael. We really appreciate it. Steve Yatomi, great info, Jordan. Lexas and coastals are great for international travel.
Mine's gone with me a
you
few
go.
times to different places. I think I took one. First one I took was Japan when I went to go fish for their sea bass and some of their black grouper out there and everything. Man, it's awesome.
Tell us a little bit about your fishing in Japan. Where did you go? What did you fish for?
So the first day we went for, literally right when we landed, me and my boss. I mean, we landed at 6 a.m. We put our bags aside, and then he knew a guy from Japan. He's a Japanese guy. He knew one of his buddies. Takes us out on a boat right when we get to Japan. So I think I had a good 25 minutes to get changed and then go. It was
Really?
just boom, boom, boom. Get on
Wow.
the boat and go. Wind was howling. Sea bass weren't biting so well as winter, so he decided to go ahead and try out for something different. So we took lighter gear, put all our heavier gear away, unfortunately. Didn't get anything on these reels, but started going for some lighter, like what they call bait finesse tactics. So we had these light reels, light braid, and light line. And we're pitching these little like fake plastic crabs at like pilings and everything, and getting these what almost look like sheep's head. I mean, they're nice size, all about
Well, that
3 to
sounds
5
fun.
pounds. And on
Yeah.
that light line, I mean, it's incredible. So I ended up with about 6 or 7 of those things the first day, and I mean,
Wow.
I had a
That
blast.
sounds
there.
like fun, doesn't it, Dan?
Oh my god.
And then I got to
Big
check
O.
out the cool show out there. So we went to the Osaka Fishing Show.
Yeah.
Got to check out all the latest and greatest out there. I mean, technology out there is just leagues beyond ours
Yeah.
when it comes down to everything there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I got to trout fish as well. So trout fishing became pretty big out there. Well, it's been big out there. They have a lot of the Japanese spoons and everything. So I got to learn from some of the guys out there on how to truly throw them, what kind of gear, how they differ from us. And I got to bring it back here and just dominate the trout game this year. So,
That is awesome.
Yeah, overall, I mean, we're bringing a bunch of trout spoons out, actually. You know,
Oh.
we already have, so we got a bunch of, they're actually Japanese trout spoons. We brought them out. Pretty much haven't changed a thing. Got some specific colors for the California market, but overall, I mean, I think they're going to take over. So
That's
it's
great.
Oh,
huge.
that's gonna be fun stuff.
Yeah,
That's
super
gonna be fun stuff.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, I use, come to think of it, my 400 on that bigger when I was fishing with down in Guyana with Steve, but I was fishing with Pete Demers, and that 400 we ended up, using on they estimated about 280 airplane, because they sat. I got the picture in my phone here, but I mean, we're holding out like this, the two guides on the outside, and so the span was huge. But, Steve told me to take a fly rod down there. I'm going, are you crazy? These are 250, 100 something, 200. And you know something? I should have listened to him. Because what it is they got a very sensitive ear bone. So, and Pete's very competitive. He's sitting in the boat with me. And you make 2 casts, and if it isn't, here's the Arapaima swimming across, and you're watching it. You gotta put your bait 2 feet behind it, 2 feet in front of it. It's got to be a perfect cast. And when you're competitive like Pete and myself, you're banging the water, you're hitting as many casts. But the minute you do that, they sink out. So to make that perfect cast, you got to put it in front of him. Now, when Steve told me to bring a fly rod, I said, "What are you nuts?" Guess what? He's right, because it lays down very quietly. And I think, in these, I didn't realize the impoundments. You have two guides in the boat, and they will paddle you around, chase the fish. If they start going into the weed line, they'll jump in the water, and the fish will veer out. And it's only maybe 4 to 6 feet deep in these impoundments. It's water that is trapped inland and separated from the main river. And as it dries, they get stuck in these lagoons. And then when that happens, a lot of times, Steve and these guys have organized groups of people to go in to rescue them. They have these cradles that you can carry, and put these bigger pine in there, and they walk them out maybe, I don't know, half mile sometimes to the main river and release them into it. So hats off to the way they really take care of the environment and their fishery down there. And for us, obviously, it was all catch and release. But there's so much to learn. It's amazing.
Learn.
But
Yep.
yeah, I used the 400 on that big arapaima. Yeah.
You recommend fishing Japan to the people out there?
I love it.
Yeah.
I just recommend going to Japan in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible
Have you ever
experience.
seen a place that's cleaner in your life?
I couldn't believe it. You see kids coming back from school on the street. They'll pick up trash and they'll put it in their backpacks.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that here?
No, hell no.
That's the way I think
I've
about
seen
it.
them throw it on that.
I've seen them throw it out there. I've seen them cause a mess, but never clean up a mess.
Right.
I mean, and the absolute respect levels that they have there for everything. Their fishery, their people around them. I mean, it's just every single thing. Plus, the food's incredibly cheap and so good.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
to 7-Eleven every day, and people still think I'm crazy. I mean, the food quality at 7-Eleven beats some of our fast food, or way better than our fast food out here. It's ridiculous.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I can remember, we were walking down the street in Horita, and school let out, and you had all these little cute 5-year-old kids with these cute hats and backpacks, but they're all walking home by themselves.
It's so
It can't
safe.
happen.
It's
it
so
just you
safe.
couldn't do it here,
Yeah.
which is just amazing. And
They're taught to be
It's so-
self-sufficient from a very young age. It's
Oh.
kind of crazy.
and it's immaculate.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, they keep their country so clean.
Yep.
So they're so respectful. I recommend going in general. The fishing is just a bonus there. Even the fishing shops. Oh my God. You go into a fishing shop, you better either
Yeah.
lock away your credit card, or you better have You better have some
Yeah.
disposable funds, because you walk out with a lot more than you intend to go in with. Man, it's
Yeah.
kind of scary.
I don't
how
want to
fast.
tell Gil how much I
Yeah.
kind of hit a lot of stuff.
Well,
when I
I'm
got
not
home.
going to say a monetary
that
value
old
here.
thing, I've had that for years.
Yeah, don't say a monetary value here on stream. I think that's
Yeah,
a
that's
very
pretty
it's a good way to get in
crazy
trouble.
That's right. AJ just got back from the Bay of LA, Danny. He said he surf fished on Friday at La Gringa, and he said the sand fleas were out for blood. So he got them too.
Okay, I don't know if you can see the spots, but I got them and on my legs. I took one for the team, folks.
AJ took it too, so
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that.
There you
Another
go.
AJ, is there any plans in the future, talking to you, to make a lighter version of the Proteus EX or X jigging rod for daytime fishing? I think something in the 150 to 350 gram range would be awesome. Thanks for a great question, AJ.
As far as I know now, no, but we are expanding that lineup pretty good. So, I mean, I like the suggestion. I'll give it a head and I'll talk to my rod guys about it. It's a definite possibility. We're always looking to kind of change everything, be the first one out to the market on something new, especially just for, like something off the shelf. Not many other companies make, jigging rods with a spiral wrap off the shelf. So, no problem at all. I'll definitely go ahead and, extend that to my rod guy, but we'll take a look and see. But I know we have had a few guys asking for it, so that jigging thing is becoming huge out here on the West Coast. So we'll definitely look more into it. We got a lot of jigging setups for like rockfish and the East Coast guys and the West Coast guys for like, again, rockfish and all that. But we're really starting to dip our feet into that tuna market. So we'll take a look.
It sounds to me like Daiwa actually has an open ear and is open to suggestions.
Of course.
It sounds like you take this stuff very
Oh,
seriously.
I take it hugely serious. That's a huge part of my job. I go out, you'll see me either on Tuesday or Fridays. Those are the days I can go out and test stuff. I love talking to people and asking them what they want to see in the market, and especially the West Coast market. I mean, a lot of different companies don't really acknowledge the West Coast market nearly as much, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Jordan, that's a huge mistake on the tackle manufacturers because, if you think about the fishermen that we have here, these guys have led the way. If it weren't for Carl Newell, we'd still be fishing plastic spools. So here you got Carl up in Glendale. You got Leon. You got all these guys that innovated stuff that drove the marketplace, not just here, but worldwide. You know, I mean, and then, you know, when we used to get all the first prototypes and, you know, we were chasing all these big bass, you know, we dropped down in line size. You had to have, we were the first ones to implement graphite. You know, a lot of guys didn't understand that, you know. So, you know, it's the best testing ground because, you know, if you look at our consumer base, our fishermen, it's not like a lot of places in the country. I mean, you got people coming out of the aerospace industry, the .coms, you know, your Caltex, Disney, but people that have mindset that they're not settling for just a lure. They're going to take it, they're going to tweak it, they're going to innovate it to, you know, tweak it to make it to work better, you know. Well, typically we can fish lighter lines, so we're fishing reels that are a little more finesse reels, you know, and still catching big fish. So there's a lot of things that, you know, I give credit to our Southern California fishermen. You know, we've driven the market in a lot of ways.
It's been huge,
Yeah.
so it's good. Daiwa's always there. We're always sending guys to different states and everything, and kind of getting a feedback and idea. Every state's different. Traveling around a little bit, now I'm starting to notice every state's different. They all demand a different thing for their fishing. But when it comes down to it, I mean, Daiwa's done a really, really good job to kind of cater to those markets. So we're really seeing it more in the California market. I saw a lot in Texas and the Gulf Coast area. They're trying to do it for their market. And then I get to go to Orlando and I get to kind of see how they're doing it out there as well. So I'm really excited.
It's all
Hopefully
different.
get to go out for some snook or tarpon or something out there. I got 1 or 2 days to fish right before I cast.
Oh,
so,
that'd be great.
Oh, I'm excited.
I gotta hook you up with my son. He lives right near Orlando, so
Oh, that'd be awesome.
you guys maybe could fish together.
That'd be awesome. Let's do it. Yeah,
I'll
we're going there every year, so
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel, so you guys can get together and promote some Daiwa stuff while you're back.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds great. Let's see. Let's go to Mackie, who said the fishing story got weird fast. I think he's talking about people exposing themselves in Mexico. Colder ice. Hello, and that is our friend Chris Rank, by the way. Hello, Phil, Danny, Jordan, Anthony. Thank you for the great work. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. It's heating up, sea bass at 3. Woohoo! Yeah, that's right. The limit is 3 now. And I'm going to tell you both something. They're going to catch 3 per rod.
Oh, they're going to catch 3 per rod. You
They
bet.
are.
You bet
It's
they
so
will.
good.
It is incredible out there from what I hear right now.
That is awesome.
You know, the Freedom, is that the Freedom pulling in here?
It's backed up.
Oh, he's going to get fuel or
Going
something.
to get fuel or
Yeah,
something?
he got tanked up with squid.
Oh, he had on his last trip
Oh.
81 halibut and limits of white sea bass
That's
on a day and a half.
incredible.
Wow.
Rick Russell's
I gotta
kicking
get. I
butt
gotta
down
go,
here.
man.
Wow.
I gotta go out on that trip.
Man, they just had an incredible
Nice.
trip.
He got loaded up with
couple of
squid,
days
both
ago.
tanks.
Both tanks full
Both
of live
tanks.
squid. We're having calamari for dinner tonight, Lightfoot.
They
We
got-
tell ya.
That's
So
the
tell that
ammo.
Russell he can't have all that for bait. All right, let's see. Mackie, Jordan, what setups did you throw over there in Japan for trucha, for trout?
Okay.
Rods, reels, lines, spoons, BFs.
Yeah. So
You know what a BF is?
BFS. So
No,
bait
BFS.
finesse system.
Thank God. I think I was
No,
almost
I-
going to get kicked off
No,
YouTube.
So rods, mostly I use whatever, like the guys who took me out there. A lot of the guys who work for Daiwa or X-Braid, our other, the company we distribute for, took us out trout fishing. So they'd have these short little tiny rods, you know, little 5 foot, 5.5 foot rods, because their ponds are usually smaller and they're generally using a lot of spoons. They don't jig like we do out here, guys. So you can get better control on a spoon with a real short rod. So we were mainly throwing, I think they were Rodeo Craft, or we're throwing the Daiwa Presso rods as well out there. And they were fantastic rods. Absolutely, really, really nice. A lot of our Pressos here are actually designed, the shorter ones are designed based off those 4 spoons. Reels I got to take out there. So I got my Daiwa Exists out here. I got them spooled with 4-pound X-Braid Finesse, so really light braid. And then I was using some of the X-Braid leader that they had as well out there. That was 2-pound leader. And a lot of people think 2 pounds a lot, too little for spoons, hard baits. I'll have you guys know that 2-pound lasted really, really well for fish up to 2.5, 3 pounds out there, no problem. It can handle bigger fish as well. So the main thing you guys got to do is a lot of people have their drags set way too tight. I reel through my drag, and I know a lot of people think, oh, it produces line twists and everything. And with the technology that we have, some of our air drive rotors and everything, you don't get that nearly as much that twist.
The twist,
So you'll hear me when I hook up, and then a lot of people look at me differently. They're reeling through a drag. You hear my drag clicking when I'm reeling. I'm telling you, if you reel through it, you can get those fish to turn their head pretty quickly. And if you as long as you're not horsing them in too much, you can land some pretty big fish. This year I landed about a 9.5 pounder on 2 pounds. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Oh,
not a
cool.
bad
Damn.
fish. Yeah,
That's
good
awesome.
fish.
Great.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So there's been some really good fish caught on that light line, guys. You just gotta really just be easy on them. But I was using that, and then I took a whole wallet of spoons that we sell our Presso spoon wallets. I took a whole wallet full of baits out there. So I have the Presso Rave 2s. Those are the ones we brought to the U.S. pretty recently, about early last year, maybe late last year. And then I got some of the Daiwa kunai spoons. So we have 2 different spoons out here, both based completely on Japanese spoons. We're the first ones that I know of to bring a true Japanese spoon to the market here. So you guys got to check them out. They change up the trout game completely.
Well, when typically that stuff when they hit the shops, the guys in the know, well, the guys that are listening in today,
Yeah.
you're gonna have some insight that you won't believe. You just gotta, I was a tackle junkie as a kid. Anything new, I was a real sucker for it. But when you hit on the right stuff, it's unbelievable. It's your secret weapon. Those are the ones you don't tell the people about.
And you need to have them. Everybody's going, well, I've had a lot of guys come up to me and go, oh, I throw a Castmaster, I throw a Thomas Bowen. And I'm like,
Yeah.
These spoons are engineered to stay consistent constantly. Sometimes a spoon will blow out on the middle of a cast or anything. These things, you can crawl them super slow, they'll still swim. You can burn them fast, they'll still swim. You can do almost anything to keep them where you want. So it's incredible. And there's just so many uses for these spoons. I mean, when they're like really, really chasing, oh my God, it's incredible. They don't hit anything harder. I mean, they rip the rod out of your hands. For a little tiny stalker fish, you think, oh man, no, they'll rip a rod out of your hand. And it'll get big ones.
Were you fishing straight braid or were you tying that into
2-pound leader.
fluorocarbon?
So yeah, I had that 4-pound braid, which is the equivalent
fluorocarbon?
of about 1 pound mono.
Yeah.
So it's 4-pound braid to that 2-pound leader. And then just putting it into a little tiny clip and just, at that time it was really, really muddy water conditions because it was during the winter. It was raining a little bit on us that day.
Okay.
We were crawling really, really slow on the bottom. So near more like chartreuse, orange colors, kind of brighter colors. And then once the water started clearing up a little bit later in the day, they had some water pumping and everything, I started going to more natural colors. My brown, black, something that looks more like a food pellet. But they were really, really eating it pretty good out there. So
Awesome. Yeah,
ton of
it's
fun.
pretty amazing.
All right, excellent stuff. Hit that like button, everybody. We really appreciate it when you do that. And also, don't forget, tonight at 6 o'clock, Tackle Shop Confessions with Sam De La Torre. 2 beautiful rods, over $1,000 in value tonight. If you want information on how you can get in on that raffle, there's our really professional looking sign right there that we put together for you. Just send Chuck a text and he'll get back to you and get you signed up. That is, if it's in the frame, which I assume it is because I saw Mad Dog just check it. Hey, what is the state in the United States that has the biggest saltwater market? More saltwater, it's got to be Florida, right?
Florida's a big one.
Texas has got to be big.
Florida's a big one. Texas is decent size. It's more the Gulf
Where does
Coast.
California rank?
I'd say California's 3rd or 4th, honestly.
Oh, really?
Because I have to also say some of the Northeast states as well. We kind of bundle up the Northeast as one.
Yeah.
They get that big striper run, and
Yeah.
they get all those bluefish runs and everything almost at the same time. So it's kind of hard to tell. We bundle up the Northeast at one point, but when you see some of the videos these guys send of these striper runs, it's ridiculous because they get 2 a year. They get when they go up, and then they come back down. So I mean,
And it's incredible,
It's
isn't it?
incredible to watch because these guys are hooking. Well, they said wide open 40, 50-pound striper all
Damn.
day from either the
That's
surf,
amazing.
boat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. And then I'm out here catching these little striper at the lakes thinking I'm doing great.
Yeah,
and then these
right.
guys are,
Oh, yeah.
they're getting 40, 50 pounders
Yeah,
consistently.
slugs.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
There's
It's
going to be
incredible.
a surprise
There's going to be a
Extra
surprise.
raffle.
A what?
surprise into the raffle. Chuck's going to announce that one.
Okay, there'll be a
Oh.
surprise in the raffle also. Reggie Wynn. Hey, Jordan.
Yep.
Big Daiwa fan here. Are there any plans to make an updated Saltiga Star Drag reel to have a similar free spool as the levered drag version? Reggie, we love you. Great thumbnail.
Anytime soon? Currently, no. But keep your eyes peeled. You never know. We do plan on eventually upgrading those reels, and once they do, I know Daiwa's gonna just knock it out of the park. But we're definitely testing a lot of different technologies to try to get our free spool absolutely, astounding, to get it the best free spool we can. So when the next ones come out, I think you'll be very, very impressed with what they have to come out with. I mean, this is years in the making. I tell guys all the time, to get a perfect reel, we can't do it every 3 to 4 years. We want to make sure we test. Testing is the most important dang thing you can do for these reels, because if you bring out something premature out here, these guys out here on these boats will eat them alive. And
Sure.
these bluefin,
Especially social media,
and these
right?
bluefin will eat it alive when it
That's
comes
right.
down to it. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? So
Yeah.
we want to make sure we're putting out the absolute 100% best product we can.
Yeah, they got to be smoke tested. We
Oh,
always
yeah.
call this smoke tested.
100%.
you know,
Yeah. Some of these reels, guys, even the Saltiguas we have now, were tested for years and years and years to ensure that they were quality reels, that they're gonna kill fish, no matter the circumstance.
There you go.
Jordan,
Gotta have
Danny,
it.
great stuff tonight. I am loving it. AJ is back. He's already asked a great question. He wants to say, I should mention that I just landed my personal best bluefin tuna on my brand new Proteus EX 125 pounds.
That's a solid fish.
Wow.
125
Good job.
pounds.
AJ.
Good job.
There you go.
Good job.
Woo-hoo.
Congratulations.
Looks like you got sushi for a while there.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yes.
AJ. You better buy a raffle ticket tonight. You're so lucky. Colder Ice. Hello, Robert Graber, Dan the Man, Michael, Mitchell. Is Mitchell here? No. Oh, okay. John and the whole studio. Thank you very much. Stoke for Life Foundation. Great to have you with us. Hey, guess where they're coming to us live from right now? Hey, Phil, we're in Bahia de Los Angeles right
Oh, my
this very
God.
moment. First day of fishing, limited out on the yellows by 8 a.m. That's some pretty darn good fishing.
That's
if you
good.
ask
That
me.
is
Way
good fishing.
to go. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for
awesome.
checking in and keep it going. Don't forget, send me some photos or videos so I can include it on tomorrow's morning briefing. I would love that. 657-227-6459. By the way, thank you all so very much. This month alone, not counting, just counting Facebook, on Facebook, we are over 1.5 million views on Facebook this month.
Awesome.
God bless you all. Thank
That's
you so
awesome.
very much. And then you can add Instagram and YouTube and everything else, but I just want to point that out. Mackie, Jordan, any aging? type?
Aging, yeah. Aji tackle. Okay, this guy's a JDM guy. I like this
Mackie's,
guy.
he's-
This guy's a
he's way ahead of
JDM
me.
guy.
I'm
All right.
here trying to figure out what he's talking
So
about.
he's saying to explain it. Looks like all
Fishing
right.
tackle coming to the U.S.
Yeah.
Could you explain aging to Dan Lightfoot
So
and Phil Frieman?
yeah. So out there, I don't know. Out here, we get a lot of those little mackerel and those little jacks, right? Little small
Spanish,
yeah.
Spanish, yeah.
So what they call those out in Japan is aji.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they're
yeah.
fantastic to eat.
Right.
But usually out here, we get them on a bunch of sabikis, right? Well, the Japanese got bored of that. They said, we want to challenge ourselves 100% to try to catch these things on the lightest tackle we can. So what they do is they take super ultralight gear, like 1 pound, max 2 pound test.
Oh, really?
Little tiny jig heads, and they'll go out on the jetties and rocks and try to catch these, small to medium sized aji on light line, like super light line.
That must be kind of fun.
It's pretty fun. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a weird technique. It's totally foreign to most people out here because we don't really do it. But I took some of my light tackle here just to kind of replicate it. It's fun. You get a lot of cool fish. Got a lot of regular mackerel and Spanish. It makes everything small out here feel more fun, especially when you're just messing around. But you do get tooled by some bigger fish out here. I hooked some bigger spotties. I hooked one halibut about 19, 20 inches on 2 pound, and it was, let's just say it makes things a little bit more exciting. So yeah, we took out true 2 pound JDM fluorocarbon out here and just took it out to our bays and everything. Had a ton of fun, but
Awesome.
I lost a lot of tackle that night, but it was a fun night. It was awesome.
Man, that sounds great.
And to answer your question, are we bringing anything over? Stay tuned, because there's no real aji fishing out here, but there's a lot of different applications on the market for light stuff,
I
like
can
light
get
jig
it,
heads
yeah.
and light things like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think for sure there's an application for it.
Spotted
guys.
bay bass fishing or
I
something
think
like that, maybe.
That'd
right?
be fun.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of guys are starting to do that ultralight spotted bay bass fishing now. They're not doing that super heavy stuff. They're doing that light 2 to 4 pound test. It's making it a whole lot funner, especially these fish are a little bit more pressured now. More people are fishing for them. That 2 to 4 pound test, man, when those spotties bite, it's actually a ton of fun.
Okay.
You know,
right on.
it's
Jordan,
awesome.
you might even get guys crossing over, implementing, that particular system for like trout.
Yep. It's so
Because
similar to our trout
that's
jigging
how
market
we,
out here.
yeah, we think
Yep.
like that.
We
it's just
trout
different,
jig
yeah.
almost like they
Or
aji
crappie,
fish. Yep,
or stuff like any of those small
crappie,
things,
bluegill,
yeah.
and trout. It's
But
gonna be
it's a
that's gonna be the
step
main
up,
market.
yeah.
It'll be huge.
Yeah.
And you can also
Yeah.
get some bigger fish too. I've thrown those little jig heads out for bass and everything.
Cool.
You get some bigger fish. Elephants eat peanuts, guys. It's not always you have to throw those big
sure.
baits.
That's
Sometimes you
right.
get those tiny little
That's right.
fish to eat, or you get the big fish to eat those little baits.
Well, you leave that up to consumers. The one thing we have in Southern California, we got enough fishermen that have that innovation in their head. They're not going to get stuck on their salmon eggs or this and that. They'll go out. And they're the the guys that are going to be trying a lot of that. I mean, if it's really a small head, I mean, that's something you probably I could throw on a fly rod.
Oh yeah, they're going to be
know,
like,
so-
average one that they're
Yeah.
out. These are 1/2 gram to like 3 grams
Sure,
is the heaviest.
sure,
So super tiny
Pretty
baits,
cool.
but absolutely fun fishing out there for that. So.
All right,
Awesome.
Mackie, great questions. Even though your host has no idea what the hell you're talking about, thank God Jordan is here. I didn't even want to try to fake it. I went right along with Dan. What's he talking about? Huh? Good stuff, man. We love it. Chuck Zimmer has a very important announcement right now. Stay tuned, everybody. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Last time we had one, it was don't pull your thing out in Mexico.
That's an
Let's
important
hope
announcement.
This is better than that. Okay? You know, I mean, I was okay. We're okay with that, Steve, but let's see what this is. The dog, this is the dog here.
Okay.
Okay. The dog will be building a custom rod for somebody tonight, and it will be raffled off tonight. You're going to build a rod while we're doing the show? Oh, what the hell is he talking about?
It's gonna be raffled off tonight. But
All right.
It won't be done tonight.
Oh, okay. The dog's going to build it, and it's going to be raffled. Oh, okay. I got you. What is it, Chuck? Stoked for Life is sending me photos from the Bay of LA. Thank you. We'll have that on the morning briefing tomorrow. Chuck Zimmer. Oh, did I mention he's from Z Custom Rods? He pays me $1 every time I say that.
Okay. So how many times do we say it?
Z
Custom rods.
Z Custom
Yeah, let's
Rods.
just keep getting it going.
Yeah, the show's over.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
just ride right
Endless
I
in.
take
loop.
cash or
Endless
check.
loop.
Chuck, you're pushing it with me, but I think I can read this. It's a TTR 6480L, 25 to 40 pound rod, and it's going out tonight. That's 3 rods. Make sure you send Chuck a text if you want to get in the raffle. $5 or 5 tickets for $20. 310-918-1448. And Chuck just threw in another rod that the dog is going to wrap. So that is good stuff. Mackie says, I volunteer as a tester out here, no charge.
No charge. What
Yeah.
a nice guy that is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Tell ya.
No charge.
Mackie, you should go back to Florida. I'm going back to Florida August 31st to do some content.
There you go.
Actually,
It's going to be hot, but
I'm doing the Notre Dame Miami game, and then we're going to be doing some content.
Oh, yeah,
the
definitely.
dog will be there.
oh, he's going to go
I
too.
keep the dog away from fire hydrants. You know, when dogs go around fire hydrants.
Yeah.
Other
Well,
than
Steve, you
that-
told me mentioned about something about
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
So I
yeah.
guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
There you
thank
go.
Steve, for the
Yes.
PSA.
Yes.
Lipper
Yeah.
the fisherman just popped in and sounds like a great show. Going to be checking you guys out later tonight on the graveyard shift. Have a great show. Lipper, thank you so much. Hope you make it through that graveyard shift. Okay. Robert Graver says, I want to be on Mackey's test team. You got all kinds of volunteers.
I guess I got a team now, huh? I got a team of nice volunteers for me.
Boys, we got 6 minutes left in this show. That's how fast this hour is
Yeah.
going by.
Wow.
It is flying by. Ken Trenholm is with us now. And Ken says, hello, Friedman Adventures family. I have to thank Danny again for all the knowledge he gives us. You helped me catch over 100 bass on opening weekend at Lake Barrett. It was a day of days. Ken Trenholm, who's lovely
Awesome.
mom. His mom is so nice. And Danny, how's that make you feel, man?
Oh man, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Good stuff,
Getting
man.
in those lakes like that, having days like that, there's nothing like it.
Barrett is a
We've-
lake
we've
of
been-
dreams, too.
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's a private lake in
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to pay a Ticketmaster just to get in. You have to wait on Ticketmaster. I didn't even get a ticket, man. It was so hard to get. But you can either float tube it or rent some of their limited boats out there. And
Is that
only
out near
Bartless.
the border of
Yeah.
Mexico?
Real close to the
Okay,
border.
that's when we're going to Tecate, I think we see
Yeah,
that.
that's a
maybe.
fantastic lake. When they're on there. It is lights out all day long fishing. It gets hot. The only thing that stops me from fishing, if it's over 100 degrees there, it does bake you a little bit. So I feel like you're in a constant sauna there, but it is amazing fishing.
You know, San Diego's always, even when I was in college down there, you know, in the 70s and stuff, you know, they always had a good program. And I like the way they rotate their lakes around so they don't get pressured heavily every day, you know. Yeah, they're open, certain lakes are open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and, you know, they rotate it around.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't get the pressure like
They take good
the
care of their
lakes up there.
fisheries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Favorite kind of fishing, freshwater or saltwater?
That's tough because I was
Really?
mainly a freshwater guy for the longest time. Probably, well, I'm 25 now, from say 5 or 6 years old till about 19, 20. And then I started getting a little bit of money and I said, I'll start going on the boats more. I've been on 3/4 days and stuff, but never really seriously. Well, after that, I started getting in 3/4 days, and then full days, started going twilight, started doing everything. And then I got into days, day and a halves, overnights, whatever.
Yeah.
Right now, I think saltwater. I'm more into saltwater. I mean, I just got that saltwater bug. I've been spending a lot more money on saltwater, redoing all my gear for saltwater. After I hooked my yellowtail, my bluefin, I was like, okay, there's nothing that can really compare to this in freshwater. I still love freshwater. It's still it's where I cut my teeth, but there's nothing like going out there and hooking a light line bluefin on like last year and just being like, oh my God, this is it. This is the adrenaline you're reaching for here, you know? It was to the point where I knew I was addicted when I hooked one, landed it, and then I threw back out again. I go, what did I do that for? I'm only on 20 pounds. I'm dying. My arms are horribly just tired. I'm like, man, I should have got a drink, should have done something, got bit again. And I go, well, here we go again, back in the saddle. So, yeah, I knew I was addicted really quickly to saltwater after that. So.
Well, Jordan, I think what Daiwa needs to do is send you on a medium range trip, so you can really dial in.
My longest right now is a 2, so I'd like to start going on that 5-day to 8-day or longer range.
You got to keep your pulse on what's going on in the industry. You get that when you're around, good fishermen, because you'll see the guys that come out, they're the innovators, the guys that have all the tricked out stuff, and that you'll learn so much faster, on that side of it too.
And you really get to see how crazy the fish are down there. I mean,
oh yeah, and the guys.
Wahoo! Oh yeah, and the guys. I heard they're amazing trips, so I definitely want to get on a longer range trip.
We have some neat guys too.
Oh my God! And the cruise and the food and the
I see the post of the food, and I'm like, wow, that is incredible looking.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it looks unbelievable just to be here.
Absolutely.
When you guys, we've just briefly talked about this, so we're not sure. But when you do go to ICAST, we're hoping here at Friedman Adventures to be able to share some of that. We're not sure we're going to be able to do that yet, but you and I are going to work on that.
We'll work on something. Yeah, I'll try to give the Phil Frieman guys the exclusive rights. So let's try our best, right? Let's try it.
Yeah, and you'll also be joining us for the first part of Tackle Shop Confessions tonight. Yep. Maybe, right? If you have time.
I'll be joining in for a little bit of time.
Introduce these reels.
Yeah, I'll be definitely joining in for a little bit of time there. That sounds fun.
Johnny Garma, he's going to want to hold one of these reels before. We charge $5 every minute.
$5
every minute you have it in your hand. And once again, why don't you tell everybody, in case they're joining us late, what is Daiwa putting out there? It'll be available in a couple of weeks.
Couldn't get the price, guys. Sorry, internet didn't want to really go with me on my emails here, but I'll introduce it anyways. Watch Tackle Shop Conventions. I'll have more of the scoop. But this is the introduction of the Lexa 500. Just introduced officially today, guys. Just popped up on our website. Just popped up on our YouTube. Lexa 500. Gonna go ahead and have brass gears, 7.6 gear ratio, so nice in between for pretty much anything you really need to do. And then it's gonna have 28 pounds of drag. So just about anything on our coast right here is gonna probably bow down to this reel overall. It can do it all. I've done it from bass, barracuda to bluefin. It'll do it all.
Beautiful. Can't wait.
Yep.
Danny, what'd you catch down there in the Bay of LA? No cabria this year, right?
It's
Did you
weird.
catch one cabria or no cabria?
We had a few shorts.
Yeah.
But it just shows you in a period of a year how quick things change. Because I mean, we hung it up last year at like 95 in a big cabria, and we were aching. I pulled my arm out of the socket. I mean, that's how bad it was, and how dumb I was. Because I just kept fishing when it was hurting. But it's like any fishing. You have to just roll with it and adapt, and just smile and say, okay, it's different. Just be ready to adapt over to whatever it might be. And we actually, and I never thought we'd do that, but we actually went to fishing like a bottom fish. They called it a lingcod. It's different from our lingcod. I'm going, okay, I don't know if I want it. Right? Just take it. It's really good. They filleted it out. We had it for dinner when we were on the islands. Phenomenal. So I mean, that was a good find, And then they had, I've never kept the pinto bass, but we ended up dropping down and loading up. So you had some fillets to bring home.
Delicious.
But yeah.
You catch any baquetas?
We got one.
Uh-huh.
We got one.
Big one?
Yeah.
Or?
And nice one. Beautiful one. Yeah. But
mostly yellowtail? Is that what your catch was?
It was, even the yellowtail was sporadic.
Weather, right?
Yeah, it was weather. It would come out of the south and then cow out of the west, and it'd be completely different in the evening. So, Mother Nature. You have to deal with it. That's all.
Got to roll with the punches.
You got to go, hey, you get weather sometimes, and that's just the way it is.
And speaking of dealing with Mother Nature, man, this bluefin's had its nose in the mud for a couple weeks now.
I bet. Yeah, wow.
Man, it's like guys are pushing the panic button. I won't mention names, but some of the San Diego boys are like ready to jump off their rigs, man, because First of all, fishing bluefin's frustrating anyway.
Yeah,
You know how
yeah.
it is.
Yep, they're picky in general.
And now it's just been off the bite. What's your feeling? Is it going to pop back up again? It's just down because of the moon
Check
phase,
the
or-
moon. That's probably, Mother Nature usually dictates all that, But I had a friend that used to tell me this. I used to think that he was just being facetious, but he goes, "They are where you find them.
Yeah.
The fish will be where they want to be." And I go, "Man, what a jerk," But the more you think about it, the more true that statement becomes. And it's just like anything. And if they showed up at the same spot every single time, we'd wipe them out. We'd put the hurt on them.
No.
So it's good in that, we have to do our due diligence and look and go figure it out,
Yep.
So
By the way,
That's a big
this
part.
guy John Garma out here, the guy cool sunglasses and the whole thing, friggin', he is one hell of a jig fisherman at night on boat.
Yeah, I could tell he's wearing the West Coast Jigger shirt and
Man.
everything, and yeah, he's got it all, man. He's
Oh,
down.
God.
He's got it down, huh?
He was on our trip, and I'm gonna say he had 10 fish, dozen fish, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he was constantly bit. And I was sitting in the galley with Ryan Block, the captain of the Apollo, and we look out the window and he gets bit, and he goes, "I need 20 of those guys. I need 20 of those guys, man." So I like to mess with John, but every once in a while you got to give the devil his due. As I'm doing.
Hey, those jig guys, I learned from them, man. They can kill fish quick. I didn't realize how fast you can kill. As long as you turn their heads, you kill those things quick.
Yeah.
The deckhands got a little squirrely on me when I landed mine. I think I had mine in under 4 minutes, 5 minutes. It was about a 60, 70 pounder. And deckhand looked at me and goes, "That's not ready." And I go, "Well, it's already at the top of the water.
Yeah,
I have it
stick it."
almost out of it." I go, "You got to do something, man."
Yeah.
So they got the captain in the stick and they go, deckhand was against it. Captain goes, "Do it again. If you can kill a fish that quick and get me on him," he goes, "kill as many as you can." All right. You got it.
There you go.
100%. And
There
I
you go.
saw, I
Oh, it's
literally
incredible.
saw, I don't know if it was John, it probably was. There was a 100-pounder that came up so fast.
Yeah.
And Shad, the deckhand on the Apollo, put a gaff in it and got ripped
Oh,
down the stern.
yeah.
It looked like he was going to lose the gaff.
Yep.
He held on to the gaff, fish pulled off, and it was
Bad
an
moment.
amazing,
Yeah.
because they're so green. They're
Yeah.
so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I was a young guy working on a boat, I'd look forward to sticking a fish like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, but those things, yeah.
They'll
When,
rip you up.
they take the path of least resistance, I noticed. So as long if you're turning their heads, they're not gonna turn it really against it to hurt themselves. I've seen guys turn their heads and I'm just going, "What are they doing?" And then they turn that head and I go, "That fish just comes to the boat." And it's like every time. It's just clockwork, man. It's perfect. It's incredible.
Greg Bates, the elf, just retracted a message. I think it was about the PSA by Steve. He had a real life thing where he did something in Mexico that he wasn't supposed to do. I'll tell you. We're not going to talk about it. We can't talk exactly about what Daiwa's going to do at ICAST. Can you make a general statement like people are going to be amazed, it's going to be great?
Oh.
Can you say anything?
People
Is there
will
some cool
be
stuff
amazed.
coming
Yeah,
out?
there's always cool stuff coming out, but for sure we're going out and doing it the right way
Yeah.
this year, guys. ICAST is going to be the main place you're going to see it. Just keep your eyes peeled. We're going to have a whole bunch of cool new stuff for you guys to try out.
Oh, I
I think you
can't
guys will
wait.
be excited.
I can't wait. And like I said, I'll put you with my son Patrick. Maybe when you're back there,
Oh, yeah.
you can fish. And then when the dog and I get back there, we'll pick it up and keep fishing there also.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, we've run through an hour here just about. I can't believe
Wow.
it. Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, hour goes by
Doesn't
incredibly
feel like
fast.
it,
No,
right?
it felt like 10 minutes.
If people want more information on Daiwa products, on anything, what's the best way to get that
So
info?
we just released this video on our YouTube, guys. Go on our Instagram, our YouTube, or go to our website, daiwa.us. We'll have all the info on all these new reels, and then you can find out where to get them at your local dealer. Go ahead and try these things out, especially with a lot of these Cudas out and everything. And then Coronado's starting to heat up. I'm seeing a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, they had
This is
21
gonna
yellows
be, yeah,
on San
21
Diego.
yellows. This is gonna be a fun reel to throw that iron. You just don't have to think about sitting there constantly, pushing the line over back and forth. For me, just keeping speed wise and everything, it's a really fun reel to throw the iron on, guys. I think it'll surprise you.
Jordan, you were awesome as always.
Thank
You're
you
going to
so much
join
for
us for a
having me.
little bit on Tackle
Yes, sir.
Shop
Yeah, I'll
Confessions?
be there for a little bit of time for sure.
Jordan, I got one quickie.
Sure.
Now, you're throwing iron with it. If you're going to get our conventional guys here in Southern Cal,
Mm-hmm.
you have a clamp for those?
We don't make a clamp for it, but there's a lot of aftermarket clamps that I
Okay,
recommend.
okay.
Obviously, there's
Okay,
gonna
I
be
was
so
just-
many.
I was just
Everybody
gonna
has
say.
a different one.
Yeah. Well,
we don't make a
we
clamp.
used hose clamps in the old days.
Yeah, I know some people still use hose clamps, or
Yeah.
I've seen guys even use zip
Sure.
ties, and I was like, all right, hey, you got to use what you got to use. But there's different clamps out there for it.
Yeah.
We don't make a clamp specifically for this one, but there's a whole bunch of aftermarket ones. They
Cool.
work perfectly fine. My buddy uses it on his 90J and does perfectly fine with it.
Very
So.
good.
John, do you have a
Awesome.
question or anything? I thought maybe you came in because you had a question. Danny, great show, my friend.
Philip,
Well, it's
Jordan.
really good to see you.
Pleasure to be
Awesome.
here. Appreciate
Jordan
it.
always
Thank
have
you,
you,
buddy. There we go. All right,
All
thanks
right.
everybody.
Thanks everybody for being
Thanks
Great
here.
for
having you
tuning
with
in,
us.
folks.
Take care, my friends.